Hey guys, welcome to another LP I'm starting. This will be episode 1 for Let's Play Sword Coast Legends. Game that got a lot of unrequisited hate and anger and just not good vibes from some people towards this game, and kind of caused InSpace to tank, and the game did not do very well. But a lot of it was unfounded on my part. I like the game. I played 27 hours of it. I got pretty far in the main quest, and I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it enough that I decided I'd like to Let's Play it and kind of show you guys who may have missed this game some of the inner workings, and see how it was back then when the game was available. So for my hardcore options, I'm not going to allow stabilize during combat. Stabilize during combat means if someone goes down, another character of yours can run over, stabilize them, and they're back in the fray. I'm not going to allow that, because that makes it too easy. If you go down, you're down until the end of battle, and then we take care of you. So the game will pause. It's real time with pause, so it will pause when a hidden object is found, when a combat begins, when an enemy is immune to damage, or when a party member dies. It will pause. We're running it all the highest video settings. The audio is fine. The controls are fine. We'll get into it as we play. Let's check it out and see if the hate was warranted, or if it's a pretty good game. I kind of go with the latter. So this is my character. I also have a level 10 Ranger, Shan Dolzier. Level 1 Rogue. We're going to delete Alexander and start over. We're going to click New. We're going to make a new character from scratch. Turn the music up a little bit. Origin. I'm going to be a male. Classes are Wizard, Paladin, Ranger, Warlock, Fighter, Cleric, Rogue. That's it. So, not a ton of classes, but most of the base classes are here. I think I'm going to be... I just go towards Rogue. Scoundrel who uses stealth and trickery to overcome obstacles and enemies. Our armor proficiencies are cloth and light. Our weapon proficiencies are simple weapons, light crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords. Our save proficiencies are dexterity and intelligence. For race, we have human, tiefling, dwarf, elf, half-elf, halfling, and human. There's human variant. So I'm going to be, let's see what a tiefling is like. I'm not going to be a tiefling. I'm going to be an elf. Elves are magical people of otherworldly grace living in the world, but not entirely part of it. They live in places of ethereal beauty, in the midst of ancient forests, or in silvery spires glittering with fairy light, where soft music drifts through the air and gentle fragrances waft on a breeze. Elves love nature and magic, art and artistry, music and poetry, and the good things of the world. And I'm actually going to be a drow. While the drow are hated and feared among the surface dwellers, individual drow are free to choose their own path, or so the demon goddess Lolth would have them believe. As a drow on the surface, you're a rare and elusive creature, and none but you can decide whether you will find your own way or walk the twisting webs of Lolth's will. So we get, +2 dexterity, +1 charisma, immune to sleep, racial bonus of search, fairy fire, and darkness, and we're proficient with rapier, short sword, and light crossbow. And our background, there's a lot of them: spy, urchin, acolyte, charlatan, criminal, entertainer, folk hero, gladiator, guild artisan, guild merchant, hermit, knight, noble, outlander, pirate, sage, sailor, soldier, back to spy. So my background is going to be, I think, that of a hermit. You lived in seclusion, either in a sheltered community such as a monastery or entirely alone for a formative part of your life. In your time apart from the clamor of society, you have found quiet, solitude, and perhaps some of the answers you were looking for. We get starting gold 5, attribute +1 wisdom, passive bonus +2 to radiant, necrotic, and psychic damage dealt, and -2 radiant, necrotic, and psychic damage taken. We'll be a hermit. Very peace-loving drow. We're going to have light skin. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. We're going to get up in this. We're going to have a scar on the cheek. No, that looks a little old and weathered. Let's be young and fresh-faced. Hair color. Something like that. Hairstyle. Kind of like that. Let's go with that. Eyes. Eye color. I am colorblind, so I mean this is like not doing much for me here. I guess that looks pretty cool. Eyelid height is fine, eye size is fine, eye spacing is fine, brow depth is fine, nose. Well, if I were a drow, I would have a large nose. That's pretty large. What's the nose depth? Okay, just make that average. Nose width can be a little narrower. Bridge depth. Let's see what that looks like. I think right there is good. And bridge width. I think right there is about right. Cheeks and jaw. Cheek width. Make it sucked in. Let's go with that. Cheek height. I don't really see the purpose. Jaw width. I'm gonna have kind of a jaw like that. Neck width. It's kind of fine there. Chin depth. Right there is good. Lips and ears. The lips need work. Lip fullness. Let's get a little more lip fullness. Ear angle. Get those ears showing a bit. Alright. Next we pick our starting weapons. So I kind of have an idea in mind for him. I would like him to put a rapier in his right hand and a sickle in the left. So if we look at the rapier, 2 to 8 piercing, one-handed finesse, dexterity requires proficiency rapier, 1 to 4 slashing, light requires proficiency sickle. That just seems good to me. We're going to stay in the leather vest, leather cuirass, and leather boots. Armor class 1. Nothing to write home about. Now our stats. This is where it gets interesting. Rogues prioritize skill over brute strength. They have an almost supernatural knack for avoiding danger, and a few rogues learn magical tricks. While creating a rogue, prioritize dexterity over other ability scores, followed by intelligence if you plan to do it in spellcasting. So I'm definitely going to do spellcasting, so I want like a 15 in dexterity. I mean in intelligence. We could do something like this. Constitution, strength. Definitely want to have a little charisma and a little wisdom for will saves. I knock that down and knock that up to 17. Not the strongest or the hardiest, but plenty of dexterity. Dexterity measures agility, reflexes, and balance. Ranged attacks and finesse weapons use dexterity to determine damage. A high dexterity score also makes sneaking, disarming traps, and unlocking things easier. Strength measures bodily power, athletic training, and the extent to which you can exert raw physical force. Most player attacks use strength to determine damage. Constitution measures health, stamina, and vital force. Constitution directly affects your total hit points and is used for many save checks that affect your physical well-being. Intelligence measures mental acuity, accuracy of recall, and the ability to reason. Arcane spells use intelligence to determine damage as well as the difficulty checks. Wisdom reflects how attuned you are to the world around you and represents perceptiveness and intuition. Divine and nature spells use wisdom to determine their potency, and wisdom also helps in locating hidden objects. And then charisma measures your ability to interact effectively with others. It includes such factors as confidence and eloquence, and it can represent a charming or commanding personality. Charisma is used anytime you must be persuasive, whether it be hostile or friendly. Paladins use charisma to determine the potency of their spells. Well, that's pretty good. So here's where it also gets interesting, the ability trees. So each one of these trees has a sort of a skill tree of abilities that you can take. We've got the Scoundrel, we've got the Thief, we've got the Assassin, Arcane Trickster, a little bit of magic, Carouser, 2-weapon fighting skill tree, Martial skill tree, Archery, our racial abilities, which are Darkness, ranged area of effect for 80 seconds. Magical darkness spreads from a point within range to fill a 3-yard radius sphere for the duration. All targets within the area that rely on sight are blinded while they remain within the globe of magical darkness. So that's a racial ability. We also have Fairy Fire. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in blue lighted but fails a DC 11 Dexterity saving throw. Any attack roll against an affected creature has advantage, and the affected creature can't benefit from being invisible. Then we've got skills and proficiencies such as Lockpicking, Search, Stabilize, our martial weapon proficiencies, our simple weapon proficiencies, and our armor proficiencies. So we have 2 ability points to spend. Let's see what we want here. Dash, direct effect, channels adrenaline to augment running speed, increases movement speed by 50% for 10 seconds. Disengage, dodges quickly out of the way, increasing all damage resistance by 50% for 4 seconds. For the next 6 seconds, all stealth checks gain a +5 bonus. So this is Expertise, grants an extra +3 bonus to lockpicking, search, and disarming traps. That's interesting. Assassin. Hidden Dagger, hurls a weighted dagger at a target, dealing 615 piercing damage and throwing them off balance. For the next 60 seconds, the affected creature's cooldown durations are increased by 100%. In danger, attacks a foe, reducing their ability to defend themselves. The attack deals 9 to 29 piercing damage and causes the target to take an additional 30% damage from bludgeoning, piercing, slashing sources for 30 seconds. In Death Strike, strikes the target with a lethal attack, dealing an initial 5 to 11 piercing damage and forcing the target to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes an additional 28 to 103 piercing damage. And then we've got Misty Step, teleports the caster up to 15 yards to a targeted location. If an enemy creature is targeted, the follow-up attack deals 6 to 17 piercing. And Summon, allows you to flip away and leave behind a target dummy for enemies to focus their attention on. The dummy lasts for up to 20 seconds or until it is destroyed. For the next 6 seconds, all stealth checks gain a +10 bonus. So you can see, there's lots of stuff we can do. I want Sleep, Arcane Trickster. Sends creatures in the area into a magical slumber. Each target within a 3-yard radius of the targeted point must make a DC 12 con save or fall unconscious. The spell ends if the target takes damage. Let's learn a point of Sleep. We're going to dip heavily into this Arcane Trickster pool. Carouser. Direct effect melee. Pops the cork on the wineskin and grants a quick swig of a stiff dwarven ale, restoring 4 to 6 hit points but causing slight intoxication for 10 seconds. Revelry. Distracting Remark. 2-weapon fighting. Whirlwind attack. Swings the user's weapon at every foe within 4 yards, making a melee attack against each affected enemy, dealing 7 to 19 piercing. The attack is so furious that each enemy takes partial damage even if the effect misses. That costs 2 points though, we don't have 2 points. Martial, Victorious Surge. That restores hit points when you use it. Flying foe hurls a spear attached to a chain, and the target takes damage and is pulled toward the user. We're not going to get into archery yet. Medium armor costs 2 points. Search 2, lockpicking 2. Dealers of death, Assassin's sole goal is to execute their targets as quickly and efficiently as possible. Assassin abilities focus on closing quickly with the prey and striking with devastating force. Many foes do not even see an Assassin's blade until it's too late. We're going to get the weighted dagger. That's going to be our ranged attack. So that and sleep. Alright, the name is going to be Alexander. That looks like a good portrait. Voice erudite.
Hello there.
Very good. Alignment is going to be chaotic good. Creatures act as their conscious directs with little regard for what others expect. Copper dragons, many elves, and unicorns are chaotic good. And our deity is going to be Ilmater, the crying god. It's the good god of endurance, suffering, and perseverance. He offers peace and relief to those who are suffering and defends people who are oppressed or treated unjustly. His faithful are very active in providing care to the injured and ill. So here's our character, Alexander. We're going to go ahead and start and get into the campaign, which is a full campaign. We're going to play it on hard. Its difficulties for the truly brave and will require tactical pause and play. Friendly fire set to 100% of normal damage. We're ready. I'm ready. Let's start the game. Let no horses pull you forth, and ignore the signpost beside the path. We must each blaze our own trail through the wilderness, lest we lose ourselves along the way. Gareth Dawnshredder.
Legends tell that after the time of troubles, the elven goddess Sehanine Moonbull wept for those divine souls that fell in the God's War. From her eyes fell the moon tear, a relic said to contain a mote of Sehanine's divine power. The moon tear was hidden by the elves, but not forgotten. A century ago, two brothers, one gentle and scholarly, the other brash and courageous, sought to find the lost relic. They founded an adventuring guild called the Order of the Burning Dawn, and sealed their purpose with an oath to find the moon tear and use it to bring light to a world filled with darkness. Not long after they sealed the pact, both brothers were lost, and the guild's original purpose was lost with them. Today the guild offers equipment, shelter, and paying work for adventurers looking to do a little good while they make a little coin. You are one of the Burning Dawn's newer recruits, charged with escorting a small merchant caravan along the high road between the city of Neverwinter and the lawless town of Luskan. It has been an easy journey thus far, aside from the vicious nightmares that have plagued your sleeping mind since the caravan left the city. Bad dreams are common on missions fraught with danger, but you've never had nightmares quite like this.
Night on the road. You and your guildmates have set up camp along the high road where you're escorting a merchant caravan from Neverwinter to Luskan. As you lay down to rest, however, your peaceful night's sleep is interrupted by a nightmare of fire, battle, and brutality. Oh yes, we're getting into Dungeons and Dragons. Our favorite.
Hey, get up! The guild hall's under attack!
What? What's happening?
Bellamy is calling for our help. Grab your equipment and head downstairs now.
I'll be right down.
Let's go, now!
Okay, so left click on the ground to move to that location. The quest log on the right displays the title of the active quest and any current or completed objectives. If you missed any information, the tabs in the bottom left corner of the screen toggle the chat history and combat logs, which we are going to use. Combat log.
I can do that. As you wish, by your leave.
One of these buttons lights up interactables. Rotate the camera by holding down the right mouse button and dragging right or left. Give yourself a better view of the area. Adjust zoom using the mouse wheel. Hold the Alt key to highlight interactive. Actually, objects like chest move and interact automatically. So I have to remap that because For some reason, in my previous play, I mapped it to F. Alright, so here we can see there's a chest. My stuff, click on an individual item or hit take all to grab everything. Once you have the items, press I to open your inventory. Take all. Equip your weapon, armor, and boots by right-clicking the item and selecting equip. Alternatively, double-clicking or dragging and dropping an item also equips it. Press the close button or hit escape to exit the inventory. We want our rapier, our sickle, cuirass, and our boots. And potions of healing. Let's see what's down here. Fairy fire, darkness, hide, search, hidden dagger, sleep. Potions of health, which heals users for 12 to 16, and restoration, you cleanse yourself with a single negative effect. Examples of negative effects include damage over time, silences, and ability score reductions. Put that on 8. Our healer kit's over here. Cool, cool, cool. Potion of healing. Potions and scrolls are automatically added to the quick bar. No, they're not, because I disabled that. Behavior can be disabled from the options menu. Clicking the up-down arrows on the far right toggles between primary and secondary quick bar. Why did this go away?
Of course. Report, soldier. I've begun a search of this floor, sir. I'll guard the stairwell. There must be no survivors.
Move your cursor over an enemy to display their details. Left click the target to attack. Your character will fight until the enemy is defeated or you choose to disengage. Let's hit him with a 5, hidden dagger. Hit the spacebar to pause on pause during battle. Use this time to make tactical decisions on target selection, queue abilities, potions, and scrolls, and switch to and manage other party members. From the options menu, the game can be set to auto pause under various conditions, enemy spawn, combat begins, etc.
Interesting battle.
Take a hidden dagger
Let them come.
and then go fight them. Put you down. Pan the camera by holding and dragging with the middle mouse button. This is useful for scouting ahead. Panning disables the camera follow behavior. However, double clicking on a party member, his or her portrait recenters the camera, the view, and follows that character. Oh wait, there's another guy.
Attackers. Shall I destroy them?
Let's hide. Get stealth attack. Whoa. I took some damage there. Yikes.
They were clearly no match.
Does health come back automatically? I'm not sure. No, let's use a potion. Alright, down the steps we go. The guild hall. Left click on characters to initiate conversation. WASD also moves the map.
Glad you could make it, Sleepyhead. It's about time you joined us.
Who are these people?
All I know is that they caught us unawares. They're going to bring the whole building down around us.
Is anyone else still alive?
There weren't a lot of people here to begin with, thank the gods.
When multiple characters are in your party, click directly with his or her portraits they control. Use pause spacebar to measure targeting and ability use for your entire party. So I'm going to turn tactics off and try to manage the party solo. So let's see. Let's go ahead and attack that knight. Gil. Go ahead and Divine Strike. There are cooldowns in the game. Nettie. Hidden Dagger him.
What is it?
Alexander. And a dagger him. Okay, there's another knight in the party. Nettie. Hide. Hide.
Impressive!
Attack.
Something?
Cool.
We must get out there, discover what's going on, and put a stop to it. Objections?
Let's do it.
I'm in.
For the Burning Dawn.
For the dawn!
Okay. Brazier's empty. Leave. Why is WASD not working now? There we go.
By the gods! I guess we're not getting out that way.
What do we do? Click on items like doors or chests to initiate lockpicking. What do we do?
We can exit through the Guildhall basement. The entrance is hidden. Some kind of concealment spell. Grab the ritual skull from that chest so we can get out of here.
I'm on it. Chest is down here. Rogues can be skilled at picking locks. Try Nettie. Okay, Nettie picked the lock. Ritual skull. A highly polished skull with intricate runes carved onto the surface. Place the skull on the brazier. It opens the downstairs. Press M to open your map or select it from the pause menu. The local map shows the nearby area your party has explored. More is revealed as you progress. Adjust zoom using the mouse wheel and pan the map by holding and dragging with the middle mouse button. Right-clicking on the map will set a waypoint to mark a location. Oops. Who's this?
Thank the gods you're here. Do you know what's happening?
I was hoping you could tell us.
I have no idea. We should stick together though. Keep your eyes open. There are hidden traps in this area.
Followers may join your party for a short time but cannot be directly controlled. Alright, for traps we want search and him to lead the party. Want me to lead the party, Alexander.
I can do that.
The search ability can reveal hidden traps and treasure. Click on search in Nettie's quick bar. We don't have to use Nettie though.
As you wish.
For some reason the combat bar keeps going away. Companions not directly under your control will automatically follow and fight tactically as needed. Clicking the icon below and to the right of the character portrait toggles this behavior.
We should probably do something about this trap.
Okay, let's disarm the trap. Click on the reveal trap to attempt to disarm it.
I'm honestly surprised that worked. Right away. Of course.
Jarhill.
I always say that, don't you, Jarhild? Sad to see I was late.
Abilities, potions, and scrolls reside in the quick bar at the bottom of the screen. Hover your cursor over the ability or item for details and left click to activate it or press the assigned key. Some abilities require left clicking the target once activated, and a right click cancels it. Fairly basic stuff. Oops. Whoops. Trying to press Alt. Some classes have cantrips available. The quick bar displays the default weapon set left and the active cantrip right. For characters like Gil, clicking on either slot makes the weapon or cantrip his default attack. To switch between multiple cantrips, click the swap icon in the bottom right corner. So for Gil, his cantrips are over here and his weapons are over here. He He has a 1-6 bludgeoning mace, but he has Produce Flame cantrip, which conjures a flickering flame in the caster's hand, which is quickly hurled at an enemy in range. On a hit, the target takes 2d fire damage. We're going to equip him with cantrip.
At what?
Alright, a few knights here. Let's get a dagger. Bellamy. Drag him over here.
What can I do?
Nettie. Hidden dagger.
What is it?
Gil. Needs a potion. Needs to hit cantrip. For some reason, my
Let's go.
orders did not go off as described. Dagger. Light bow, pull that one's worth us. Darkness. And attack. For some reason, Gil's not using his cantrip. It's down here. Okay, so we've got some quirks we've got to get used to with the party system. Make good use of your party during a challenging battle. Pause and cycle through your party members to strategically use their full range of offense and defense abilities. We have that chest here. Scroll of Thunder Wave. Sends a wave of thunderous force in all directions, centered on the caster. Each creature within 7 yards must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or take 6 to 18 thunder damage. Get pushed back up to 3 yards and be deafened for 10 seconds. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage as if pushed away by a small amount. Spell Fizzle DC 10 Intelligence. And a shimmering green arrow streaks towards the target within range and bursts into a spray of acid. On a hit, the target takes 6 to 18 acid damage immediately and 2 to 8 acid damage over the next 6 seconds. On a miss, the arrow splashes the target with acid for half as much as the initial damage and no lingering damage. Spell Fizzle DC Intelligence 8. So,
Yes?
you're going to take both of them and put Melt's Acid Arrow here, Scroll of Thunder Wave here. Let me see what the Select All button is. T. Okay. Let's continue. Alexander, lead the way. You can use a heal from Gil.
You have my thanks.
Okay, we're in battle. Gil. Produce Flame at the Mage. Nettie, Hidden Dagger the Mage. Let me bring the Mage toward us. And I will hit it with a Melt's Acid Arrow. There's some good AI. We worked that out pretty well.
How may I serve? I require some assistance.
Whoa, yes you do. So I don't have party AI on, so I've got to keep up the healing. Okay, so that's...
No. Is that... Ken? They murdered my sister. You die now, you heartless bastards!
Uh-oh. This is ominous. Get ready.
Why suffer an invasion when mortal fools march straight to me?
You die now, demon!
Such a large voice for such a small creature. Don't you see that we're on the same side?
How are we on the same side?
So impatient, you see. Play a role, mortal, and all will become clear.
Stop the chatter and fight!
Of course. You're obviously here to die. I shall not disappoint.
And... Fade. The Sword Coast stretches along the Sea of Swords from Waterdeep down to the river Gianthar at Baldur's Gate. The Sword Coast gets its name from the white cliffs that rise up sharply for hundreds of miles. And that is... Whoops. That is, I don't know why it kicks us back here. I guess that was the prologue. The inland trade route known as the High Road connects Waterdeep in the south to Luskan in the north, passing through Neverwinter and Port Lass along the way. On the trip up from Neverwinter, this portion of the High Road veers away from the coast to a small set of craggy hills. Still about a day's ride to Luskan for most caravans, this is an ideal resting place before continuing on through more treacherous terrain. So basically I beat the prologue, and this is
you're
what happens.
finally awake. You were scaring the horses. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Trail boss thought you were possessed.
I had a strange dream. The world was coming to an end.
You too. Bellamy said he had the same dream I did. But I figured that damned halfling was just messing with me like he always does.
It's not so bad.
Aye, he's not. He just rubs me up the wrong way. Jokes around all light-hearted. But the minute you shoot back, he gets all cranky and ready to fight. But he's a damn good soldier, and I'm glad to have him here. That nightmare I had makes me think we might be needing his blades in the coming days.
What did you dream about?
I saw a hooded figure wreathed in flame, and a horrible demon reaching through the ground from below to tear the surface apart. It felt like the end, no mistake. And there was a voice calling me, saying it was me destiny to be there.
Sounds like we all had terrible nightmares.
Aye, something to mention to Palan when we get to the guild house in Luskan. Maybe he'll give us a foul taste in purple concoction that bubbles loudly and doesn't do much else. Nightmares aside, we got work to do. Got to find that fool halfling and get this caravan packed up and ready to move to Luskan.
What do we have left to do?
The merchants are breaking camp as we speak. Most wagons are tied up and ready to go. We got a few stragglers that might need a hand getting ready. Bellamy went up ahead to scout the road. Haven't heard from him in a little while. He was cranky with a headache when he left, so I'm guessing he picked a fight with one of the trail scouts up there.
Bellamy would pick a fight with a wall if he thought it was in his way.
Aye, so you know my concern then. Maybe go up ahead along the road and see if you can find him. We ain't got all day, and if he manages to hurt someone, it ain't coming out of my share.
Alright, so it was a dream. We're back protecting the caravan. Going to save the game. Our next quest is find Bellamy, and this has all sorts of side quests and all sorts of stuff. It's a big campaign, so we're going to be here for a while. Hope you're strapped in and ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun. But this was episode 1. I will see you in the next one. Oh, and this makes 5 concurrent Let's Plays I currently have going on my channel, and they're all going to continue. Yes, I'm playing 5 different games. Just fun for me at the moment. So that will continue. I'll update all of them. And I'll see you next time. Take care, and so long. Much love, peace, joy, and light. Thanks for watching.